When your brand is subject to people who own their own communication for the first time in the history of their species, you have to look at it differently.
Customer expectations are moving really fast.
So you have to figure out how you can evolve to meet those needs.
The reason customer centricity is so important is because it recognizes that the epicenter of business has changed. The epicenter is no longer the marketing team and the sales team. It is the process of recognizing that that consumer, that customer, is the base unit of currency of the brand and the value of every organization. Without them, there is no value.
Hi, my name is Julio Hernandez. I am the global lead for the Customer Center of Excellence, and I lead our customer advisory practice in the United States. We define customer centricity as really a keen focus on the customer, really understanding what makes them tick, understanding their motivations, understanding their behaviors, understanding their needs, and really aligning your business around it.
I'm Jean Bliss. I help companies grow by improving customers' lives. Customer centricity is an attitude shift. It's about leaders deciding how they will grow and how they won't grow by focusing on the life of the customer and the employee.
If you look at customer support historically, it was a backroom function that was always just viewed as a cost. It was a survival game.
Waiting on the phone for hours, having a rude person on the other of the phone.
Waiting, complexity, not keeping me in the loop, and not knowing me.
Somebody not knowing who I am when I've already given my information, not really acceptable anymore.
You now have to look at it through the lens that the institution of customer support is fundamentally different because consumers are building a brand narrative for that company separately and independently of them, which means the very institution has to significantly change the way in which it serves its constituents. What you'll start to see going forward is an evolution of this support through human-assisted and machine-assisted artificial intelligence.
Man and machine. How can you bring them together to deliver great customer experiences?
The art form going forward is to take the best of the machine-learned environment, the best of the human-assisted environment, and combine those into a winning formula where companies are now excelling at over-delivering on experience.
Some of the leaders in our Customer Experience Excellence Report, like USAA, I mean, at the end of the day, they view their members as their mission. They put them at the center.
We've been a customer-centric organization before it was in fashion.
I think the USAA is an incredible example of the priority of customer support. The people they serve, which is the military, are some of the most honored members and valuable members of society, so they treat them differently right from the baseline. And as a non-traditional organization that didn't start their DNA in the digital world and are servicing pretty traditional financial product, they've managed to move people to channels that are the channels they actually want to interact with the brand on. And the vast majority of interactions that consumers have with USAA are through digital channels today.
You've got to be there and show up and prove to me that you've got my best interest at heart as a customer. I'll throw out bill pay. Bill pay was a member pain point, and we heard from our membership that it was just kind of a challenging space. So we dug into what that friction was, and we found these new kind of insights that our membership was thinking about subscriptions on their credit cards similar to their monthly bills. And so we're on track to this summer release an iterative and an ever-improving version of bill pay that is more all-inclusive, but also easier to understand your overall environment of payments. And that is the next generation of service. Not just being there when they call us, but anticipating their needs and customizing their experience so that they're getting the answers before they even know they need them.
You do not have to buy into this old narrative that we did it this way for 30 years, this is the way, therefore we have to do it going forward. Those will be the companies that we will not be talking about in the next decade.
You have to adapt. And one of the best ways to adapt is to listen to your customers.
Trello is an incredible example of a digital native company that connects consumer support and feedback to product design in an incredible linear public way.
The way to understand Trello is to think about a Post-it note, right? You put a Post-it note on the wall, you write little things down to remember what you're working on, and Trello uses that metaphor to make organizing a project really easy. The way that we talk to our customers is through customer support. We let anyone that uses Trello email us. Anyone can write in and we talk to them about what problems they're having. We actually have only 6 people spread across the globe that are supporting all those 25 million people that have signed up for Trello. But we actually have a department that is specifically researchers that are tasked with interviewing people, talking to them, and sort of getting right below the surface of a feature request and really understanding that user pain. And then they're delivering that feedback to the product manager so that the product manager can go and try to figure out which feature we can build that won't overcomplicate the product, but will deliver most of the value to the customer.
So if the old model was focused around giving your lowest 50% okay support and your top 20% good support, that baseline needs to shift to giving that bottom really, really good support and the top unbelievable wow support. And I believe we are walking into an era of the 6-figure salaried customer support professional. I think what Wayfair has done an incredible job of is they have honored the value of the people that are facing customers on the front line. They have taken their customer support professionals, they are hiring them from different walks of life, they are empowering them with tool sets to be able to define problems quickly, but most importantly, empowered to make decisions so that the days of let me talk to my manager are dead.
Wayfair is one of the world's largest online retailers in the home space. We're transforming the way customers shop for their home from everything from product discovery through to delivery. Because we're trying to hire very autonomous problem solvers, we've spread a pretty wide net in terms of where we look for our employees to try and tap into communities of people who are creative thinkers and problem solvers but might not have considered Wayfair for their career. We don't put scripts in front of our team. We don't give them a lot of red tape. They don't have to go ask someone for approval because they're presented with different types of problems every day that customers may have. A lot of the easy stuff, customers handle for themselves through self-service. They may have challenges that they want to talk through with a person and they want to know that they have an advocate. So as a consultant on our team, you're empowered to make all those decisions yourself.
I think what companies are going to have to recognize is that the conversation around the customer and their support and their needs now needs to be elevated to the top of the conversation pile. It is the core of every conversation, of every decision you make, is honoring that customer, honoring the change in the inversion that's gone on in the world, and making sure that you recognize that the math always ends with the customer.
Customers are evolving. Today's great customer experience is tomorrow's minimal expectation.
The solutions that you use to talk to them might change and shift and evolve. You basically have to always be evaluating that communication line because if you don't, someone else will.
Our customers are going to expect you to be there on their terms, and that means all of these channels are at play.
And they want to shop with companies who understand them as an individual and aren't treating them like everybody else.
The people who touch your end customers are the most valued, most important people in the organization. And that is the big paradigm shift that we are moving into.